this big obesity epidemic, and now we're in a muscle loss epidemic.
Yeah.
That's people need to like gain muscle.
Yeah.
You know, and so I want you to talk to me about it. What's your opinion? How has that worked for you?
Yeah. You are not broke. I know you're thinking you are. You're thinking that what happened? What's happening to me? Why I'm so stuck? You got to understand that you are in a new season of your life, biologically speaking, physiologically speaking. My 42 hit me and I didn't know. Like, imagine like 9 years ago, we weren't talking about perimenopause.
No.
Like, that didn't exist. So that whole thing hit me like I can't even explain to you. It was just crazy. Bloatiness, I gained weight, I had polyps, endometriosis, things that I never had in my life. I know how to do this. I know how to exercise. I'm not newbie on this thing. Why isn't my body not responding anymore? There is a reason why. And it's not because it's broken. It's not because it won't work. It's just that you...
Okay, y'all, we are talking all things health today. Whether you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it doesn't matter. I believe you're going to learn something today from my friend, Coach Patricia. She is a menopause coach. She's helped transform over 800 women's bodies. You may have followed her online, and today she's giving us a masterclass. We are going through it. We're talking peptides. We are talking, why some people work really hard but never seem to release weight. We talk a little bit about her faith journey, my faith journey, healing, and so much more. This is a masterclass to help get you ready for spring, get you motivated, and maybe even just maybe have a mindset shift when it comes to you, your health, your body. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coach Patricia.
Hello,
my love. I'm so blessed you are here.
Oh my goodness, girl. It's been a long time dream coming true for me to be here with you.
Well, you deserve it. You have transformed hundreds, if not thousands of lives at this point.
I try to be, how can I say, gosh, can't remember the word right now. See, I'm already nervous. But yeah, I would say probably over 1,000, but I just keep it on the 800s, I would say.
Wow.
Who cares about the number, right? I think that if I can help one person, that's my goal here today.
And you're doing it. And I'm so excited to have this conversation as we head into spring. And as, I believe women are confused right now as to what they should be doing with their bodies. But first, I want to just say, you're 51 years old. You're a grandma.
Yeah. 51 grandma. That's my line.
You look great.
Thank you.
But it seems like you feel great.
Yes. That's more important. Yeah, I do.
Tell me about that. Like how do you think you feel so great at this age?
Wow. Okay. It's not, it's so interesting. I love that question because, a lot of people, I just am, and it's not, right? There is a lot of work that comes with this. I would say foundationally nutrition for sure. But then, I have had my share of hormone imbalance in the last 10 years, absolutely. But I just learned how to shift and how to pivot with my hormones. I became very interested in learning where my body is, the phases that I'm at. And, and I do all things, girl. I'm on HRT. I have tried 9 different peptides. I'm all about that. I'm all about optimization, for any high achieving women. When you know what it's like to be on your A game and you are not, and you were just like, hell no, right?
Right.
It's not happening. It doesn't matter how old I am. I want to wake up. I want to be, fully on my A game, energized. I don't want to be having afternoon crashes. I don't want to be, foggy, right? Which comes with the territory. But I just don't settle.
Take me into the season where this all clicked, because it sounds like you did have a moment where you weren't firing on all cylinders. You felt puffy, inflamed, probably.
Oh my gosh.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And did you go from being because you're a huge fitness inspiration advocate. Did that
Hmm.
happen after or in that, or is that how you found fitness?
Right. I love that. Um, I had two, I would say two hormone shifts that happened. One was right when I turned 42. And I was already into fitness. I had done, bikini competitions, those kind of things, my 20s. So I've always been into fitness,
Mhm.
right? My 42s hit me, and I didn't know. Like, if imagine like 9 years ago, we weren't talking about perimenopause.
No.
Like that didn't exist, right? So that whole thing hit me like I can't even explain to you. It was just crazy. Bloatiness, I gained weight, I had polyps, endometriosis, things that I never had in my
Mm.
life. And it was had to do a surgery to remove things. And it was, and the doctors had no idea. If doctors don't know nowadays, imagine 9 years ago.
Dude.
And my gut, I started developing a lot of gut problems, and it was all the hormone imbalance, but I was primarily estrogen dominant. My doctor didn't know. So I had to go into the functional world to really start to learn and understand it, because unfortunately, the Western doctors, all they want to do is put it on, antibiotics, and let's do surgeries. Let's boot you,
Mhm.
let's, and I was just like, okay, I can't go in that direction. I know too much to know that I can't just let myself go this way and trust my health in the hands of people that don't even have education on this. They really
Mhm.
don't. So that's when my first, episode came, and going into the functional world and working with different kinds of blood
Mm.
works and, hormone tests, and I started becoming very obsessed with that. I learned how to pivot the whole thing when I was 42, and that's when I stumbled into, okay, I'm gonna help women do this. Um, Now, last year, I had another one. It's so interesting
Mm.
because the first, how can I say, the first hormone shift that I had was right when I turned 42.
Okay.
The second one was right when I turned 50, which I'm like, okay, what's going on here, right? So
Uh-huh.
I was able to maintain things for a good 8 years. And then I turned 50 and everything went south again. And here I am hitting my macros, hitting my protein, eating healthy, fiber, everything.
Doing all the
All the
things.
things,
Yeah.
strength training, trying to sleep, my 8 to 9 hours, drinking enough water, electrolyte, magnesium, all the things,
Mhm.
right? I mean, come
Mhm.
on, I'm Coach P.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
you know, you know. But once again, I became estrogen dominant. My estrogen went through the roof. Cortisol went through the roof again. I gained 10 pounds in 30 days. You see me, I'm
Yeah,
tiny.
you're
I'm
teeny.
5'2".
Okay, what the heck is estrogen dominance?
So estrogen, I love that question.
Yeah.
So estrogen dominance is when there's a shift, right? And your progesterone can go down, and that puts you right at the category of your estrogen being dominant. So now you have more estrogen compared to progesterone. So progesterone and estrogen has to be balanced.
Okay.
So once they get unbalanced, so if estrogen goes high, progesterone goes low, down, you're dominant, right? So high progesterone, high estrogen can cause endometriosis, can cause polyps, can cause weight gain,
Mm.
bloatiness. It shifts your gut microbiome. So all those things can happen with a shift in estrogen, either going too high or too low.
Is there something that women do to cause it?
No,
No.
no, girl, it's just really biology. It's just what
Oh.
happens, and the body. It could be stress. I think that
Mm.
I was getting married. I think it was a combination of like the perfect storm, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And but one of the things that I experienced with this shift was crazy vertigo. I'm talking about I couldn't get out of bed. It was just so bad. My body was just like in complete chaos, which I call the hormone chaos. And once again, here I am doing all the right things. But when the shift happens, it happens, right? So it's kind of like a storm hits, and now you got to the first thing I do is I test.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I know something is off, right? So I'm not going to be here just crossing my fingers and hoping. I'm going to go right into a test. And
what does a test look like? Because I really
yeah,
think that's what separates you from a lot of coaches out
mm-hmm.
there
Yeah.
is your approach to it.
Yeah. Well, symptoms matters, but lab work, the markers will tell you what direction we need to go first. Okay, so that's the map, right? So I know I'm feeling off. I know I can sleep at night. I know my libido is low. I know I'm dry. I know the symptoms are there. But I'm not just going to go and start taking a bunch of things, not understanding the dosage, not understand what first. So I like to test everything. So I went and I did a GI mapping for my gut because I knew my gut was off. I did a full panel blood work, which I normally do every 90 days anyways. I did a Dutch test to see how my liver detoxification was, my pathways, all of that. And sure enough, I already knew that I was estrogen dominant, but I'm like, okay, how off I am on this thing. And it was through the roof, right? So normally we would be anywhere from 100 to 500, just giving a range. Mine was like almost 700.
Wow.
So that was a complete chaos for me. But kid you not, in 90 days, I flipped a switch. In 90 days.
How?
Just like that, boom.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I got the results, I have a team, right? So thank God, if you have a team, it makes life a little bit easier. You have a lot of resources. I have a registered dietitian in the program who is a hormone specialist. I have a connection with, many different clinics, HRT and, peptides and whatnot. And of course, I am a functional nutritionist. I have, so my team is just amazing. And as soon as we got the results, we sat down and we're like, okay, what's the first step? Let's go into our estrogen detoxification. Then from there, we're going to work on your gut. And then I already done all of that, right? So then from there, we're going to start adding peptides. So there's seasons we're going to, change your progesterone a little bit. We're going to shift to this and shift to that, but in different phases. And that's pretty much what I do with every client.
Yeah. So you just did it on yourself.
I just did it on myself.
And you had people in different camps that are experts.
Correct.
Work in a symphony together.
Correct.
To give you the recipe. So in 90 days.
Yeah.
Because, you're sitting in front of me right now.
Yeah.
You're vibrant,
yeah.
healthy. You look incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
90 days like that.
That's amazing.
Perimenopause and menopause, right, is inevitable.
Right.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's just part of it. But suffering, staying stuck, it's an option. It really is. And there are phases to this. I don't believe that God gave us a body that is just meant to betray us and now we go off the rails like completely crazy women, right? I just believe that we miss the information, like the memo, right? Hey, what worked on your 20s and 30s will not work on your 40s anymore. And that's the part that, I see women just continue going into that. Oh, but I used to cut all my carbs. I used to push 2 hours of cardio. I used to.
Yeah, this is what I hear from a lot of women in their 40s, approaching 40. It's this stubborn weight that won't come off.
Yeah.
And, a lot of women that listen to the show, they'll DM me like, what should I eat? Should I go keto? Should I go carnivore? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not your girl to tell you what to do. I'll just tell you I do what works for my body.
Yes.
And obviously it shifted being pregnant.
Yes.
But what do you tell someone that comes to you? Let's say they're 40 and they're like, P, I've been eating clean. I'm working out. Nothing's working. I can't get the sludge off.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah, that's 98% of the women on my DMs, by the way. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. They are doing the right things. I'm eating clean. I'm trying to eat more protein. I hear that all the time. I'm doing strength training. Why is it that I still can't lose the weight? I see that even though they are eating clean, which, by the way, they are getting this information off of social
Instagram.
media, right?
Yeah.
The podcast they
Yeah.
heard, the YouTube, and then
A
they,
hodgepodge.
right?
Yeah.
So they are picking up pieces of the puzzle,
Totally.
right? And they are high achieving women. They're
Yeah.
like, I should know how to do this,
Right.
right? And then they're like, I'm going to put this into practice. I'm going to do it. But they are doing in the wrong order because they are always thinking about, okay, how can I lose this weight? I'm doing this because I want to lose this weight. That's my intent, right? That's my end goal. So now they are eating clean. They are eating more protein. They are doing their strength training. They are taking the magnesium, okay?
Yeah.
But they are in the environment that, biologically speaking, is not ready for fat loss.
Oh.
Okay, so the body in itself, she's with high cortisol. Now it's going to automatically create insulin resistance. It's going to create that belly fat. You can't lose the weight, so you're dealing with too much stress, which happens,
Yeah.
and the body will just resist. The other thing, she starts to cut in calories because we all know.
Oh yeah, just slash it. Slash them like you
Slash it.
slash tires when you're mad, you know?
Right?
Yeah, that's what chicks do. Like, I'm gonna drop every carb. I'm gonna,
Correct.
Yeah, I got a spring break coming up.
Yeah.
Starvation, here we come.
Let's go, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the fasting until 2 o'clock, like it's a badge of honor, you know?
Yes.
But the body can't, right? So you just, especially when progesterone drops, you don't have that cushion for your stress management anymore. So your resilience to stress is no longer there. So now you are way more sensitive. You are more snappy, at people. You have
angry.
the attitude.
Yep.
You are. Why? Because your progesterone is not there to support you anymore. So you're trying to do the things that used to work in the biological environment that it's not supportive anymore to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the more you're going to push that, the more the body's going to resist.
Okay.
And then they start creating more issues with metabolic resistance. The more you cut your calories, the slower your metabolism is going to be. You start losing muscle. That's just comes with the territory. Your metabolism is going to get, even slower now. So now you can't lose that fat. So everything you eat is just packing and packing. So there is a lot to this, but you can't push your way through it. You have to back off. You got to work on that stress environment first. If you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you have high cortisol, girl.
Right.
And you want to push your body. Like I say all the time, you can be eating clean, you can be eating the protein, but you can't out-train, you can't out-diet a hormone imbalance. You can't, you can out-train a broken system.
Right. So do you really look at your clients' stress levels?
Oh my gosh.
Their life, what's going on?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That's huge. Yeah.
And what easy shifts could our viewers make that you see people that is making them in fight or flight? It's making their nervous system go.
The first thing, once again, is going to be the hormone balance test, right? I mean, the lab work.
Mm-hmm.
When we see what is off in terms of hormones, then we need to look into how we're going to address in terms of the first protocol, in terms of nutrition. Do I need to restore her metabolism first? And if we do, then we need to look into what lifestyle shifts is going to have to happen. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I had a client that she was absolutely miserable with her work. Didn't have time for nothing. Very toxic environment, right? But she was in that place that she's like, what am I going to do? This is my job, And I said, I don't know, girl, what you're going to do, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Your health is at stake. And, you feel like you're losing your mind and, you're probably your poor husband, your kids, right?
Right.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. If the work is that toxic, I don't know, maybe you got to look into what else. And I kid you not, this girl took this simple advice, just start putting her resume out, found a different job, let go of that, and everything changed because that toxicity that was draining her went away and she had more time for herself.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you said the other day on one of your videos, and I loved it. When you know better, then you got to do better.
Oh, yeah, you do, honey. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You're going to be stuck on that?
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make a decision.
Yep. Once you become aware, it's like you have to take ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to come and save you.
So you look at the stress levels, you do testing, and then you formulate a plan.
Yeah.
And then that's where you typically see the body shift.
Oh, yeah. And fast.
Is there ever a time where it just doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I'm going to be very, how can I say, bold. Is that the word?
Dude, come on.
Right on that one. If you have been, really pushing your body hard, I'm talking about chronic dieter, you have done all kinds of diets your entire flipping life, right? You have not been taking care of yourself. And I do your blood markers and we look at your markers and we're like, holy cow, girl, you have insulin resistance, you have high cholesterol, you have high blood pressure, you have this, you have that. Your gut markers is off the chart. There's weight loss is not happening for a good 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's sad to watch because you just waited too long, right? You can't push a metabolism, to once metabolism, it's stuck. We need to reverse this thing. And it can take up to 3 years, depending on the case. And most women are not patient, right? They think that has to happen. I'm already 1 year into this, should have happened. How long have you been in this situation? And you expect your body's not, there's no magic to this, right? It's biology. Your body will not respond at all if you push. A perfect example, people that are trying to get pregnant, right? And they can't, and then they just get so obsessed and so, and then
they're putting more stress.
Stress and they can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? And then go on vacation.
Yep. And then suddenly,
boom.
Yeah.
Or you're like, okay, I'm just going to give up on this. I'm going to adopt. And then they adopt and then they get pregnant.
That, you just gave me the chills because that's happened to 2 people I know.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't force.
Right.
I say this all the time. Like, look, I am really good on what I do. And I say this, in a very humble way because I've helped so many women that have been stuck. But I'm not a magician. I'm not a magician. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to be patient. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Sometimes your blood markers are going to improve and you're going to still not see the results. So we do have, like a handful of clients that it's just hard to watch. But I can see the blood markers improving. And I know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
just
the
a matter of
data's
time.
there.
Yeah.
But they have to stay disciplined with it. And sometimes if we don't see results, it's so hard to stay consistent.
So hard.
And disciplined in
Yeah.
it. So that I would think you'd have to have a mindset shift of this isn't for vanity. This is
health.
For health.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to move into this topic because it's the hottest topic out there. And I want to get your honest, fresh take on peptides. And you talked a little bit about them.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to shoot you straight. I think every day I'm either on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Where I see someone and they're suddenly skinny. And I'm like, holy moly.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, they were never skinny.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I see a lot of loose skin, a lot of saggy butts.
Yeah. Yeah. The skin by the face, right?
Yeah. I know that we're in an epidemic of scarsopenia. I'm saying that wrong, but basically we were in this big obesity epidemic, and now we're in a muscle loss epidemic
Yeah.
that's people need to like gain muscle,
Yeah.
And so I want you to talk to me about it. What's your opinion? How has that worked for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, there are so many different types of peptides, right? So if we're talking about specifically the GLPs, the Ozempics, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing,
Okay.
right? And when I talk about peptides, I'm talking about the other guys, right? I'm talking about the, BPC, BPCs, the TB500s. I'm talking about the MOTSIs. I'm talking about, the other different kinds of peptides, the glow stack, the one for hair, skin, and beauty, right?
Yeah.
Hello, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about those ones that really come to optimize what you're already doing. Now, if we're talking about, GLPs, then it's a different story.
Okay, let's talk about that one first.
So let's talk.
That means that's like the weight loss one.
Correct. Yeah. So let's talk about that one. So I am not against it, but once again, I am all about the right time for everything.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are a woman, so that you have been stuck with your weight forever, right? But you are one of those that you really, come on, let's be real. You are not where you are because you took care of yourself your entire life, right? Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, babe, Patricia, so you tell me that, I eat, McDonald's and, all day long. You think I'm lazy. Like, no, girl, I'm not saying that,
Right.
okay?
Right.
But the truth is also that you haven't been, doing amazing either.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you may not be going through the McDonald's line if I go, stalk you every day.
Yeah.
Right? But you have had your shares, of French fries and drinks and beers and, and lack of protein. And you know what I mean? You really didn't take care of yourself, because if you did, you wouldn't be here. Right? GLPs will not bypass thyroid issues. It will not bypass cortisol issues. It will not bypass gut problems issues. It will support you with your insulin, your glucose. Amazing. If you have problems with that, it will help you with that. But I've seen a lot of women that are taking GLPs and worked at first and then it stopped working, right? Or they lose the weight and then they start gaining the weight back. Or they are on it, but they are like, oh, I still feel this bloatedness, I don't have energy. Well, it won't bypass those other blood markers.
Oh, that makes sense. I literally was just talking to someone who's lost weight, but her energy is
zapped.
It's next to nothing. She's like, I may look hot now, but I have no energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the?
And that's going to downregulate your hormones.
So
now you don't have testosterone, you don't have estrogen. Like, it's a mess, right? Because once again, you took not the, I wouldn't say the shortcut, but you didn't do it properly. Okay, so I have a few clients on GLP in the program, and they were the ones that were doing everything for a while. And their insulin, we just couldn't do it naturally.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was just like, maybe we should look into that.
Totally.
But not so you can go now with this, shining object and forget about your nutrition, your training, forget about the protocols we need to keep doing to keep your gut in a good place, to keep your hormones in a good place. We won't be able to undereat. We're not doing this just for weight loss, right? We're doing this for your health. We're trying to work with your insulin resistance. We're trying to work with your high glucose. This is what we're trying to work with. So we bring in that tool to support that area. But we are going to continue working these other areas.
That's beautiful. What about microdosing?
Honestly, when I talk about microdosing, okay, I haven't seen anyone that I've talked to, at least, okay, that are doing microdosing.
Okay.
Unless you're super skinny and you just want to have a tad bit just to support you with, I don't know.
Staying skinny.
I'm not sure. The women that I talked to, they went on Ozempic you're so cute. They were really heavy. they needed a lot of help,
Yeah.
right? The ones that come in that they're skinny and they are on Ozempic, I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Right? Can we just put on more muscle? Make your, how can I say, become, like, we got to become metabolic expensive, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I knew. Oh, yeah, I know you're gonna love that
You
word.
got to trademark that.
Yeah, we're gonna become metabolic expensive. What does that mean? Muscle is very expensive to the body. Okay, so the more muscle I have, the more my body has to work to burn the fat to maintain that muscle mass. So I needed to eat high quality protein. I needed to be optimizing the kind of foods that I'm eating. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you do things now with quality. I was talking to my clients the other day. I was like, girls, we gotta go pro on this thing. Right? We're going pro on this. We're not just playing this thing, oh, I'm just trying to lose some weight. No, we want to put that quality muscle mass.
Yes.
Right? When you see like a horse, like I always like to see that example, to share the example. Those horses, do you see those horses that they have muscle?
Yeah.
But they look like, okay. Right? It's not shining. It's not round. It's not,
Yep.
And then you have those other ones that are just like
the big old glutes.
Right?
Yeah.
But think about, they have the best supplements.
Yeah.
Right? The best foods, the best, right? Training, all of that. So you want to go pro on this thing, right? You don't just, I'm just going to shortcut. This is your health.
Yes. And muscle's the key to your youth.
Yes.
We need to focus on muscle and protein, the case for protein, getting enough protein in. How much protein should a woman be getting in a day? By you not looking at her, you haven't looked at her blood markers, what would just be like you got to hit this, girly? And what would be the number you think?
I don't want to sound like you need to have a coach for everything. Okay. But I am a product of a coaching.
Yeah.
And I take health so serious, girl. Like my husband sitting here, I do not mess with this thing. I just take health very, very serious. And when it comes to protein, everybody's talking about the protein. Yes, we need to have protein. The average woman comes to work with me, she's eating like 50, 60 grams of protein per day. There's just no way you're going to maintain any muscle mass with that. But there is just no way I'm going to put you in 100 grams of protein when you are eating 50 right off the bat. I've done that. I made that mistake in the past when I was beginner.
Yeah.
Okay.
More extreme.
Right?
Yeah.
You will constipate that woman. She's already a mass anyways. Her gut microbiome, it's not up there when you're eating 50 grams of protein. And your body's not ready to jump from 50 to 100. So if you're going to do that math and you're like, okay, 1 gram of protein per pound of, of ideal body weight. And like say that you are 150 and you are, eating 50 grams of protein. And now you're going to be like, let's go. I'm going to eat 150 grams of protein. You're going to get so flipping constipated.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get bloated.
Gas bomb.
Okay. Are you drinking enough water? How is your fiber? Right? Protein has to be cushioned with those things. Right? And then I start building the protein slowly. See what I'm saying? So everything has to be in the proper order. So I'm not just trying to shove things into my body. Right?
Oh, this makes so much sense. Again, I always pay attention to conversations I have. And, having conversation with someone who went to that point of, I need to do more protein and all the things you're describing, where she's like, I look like Santa Claus now, and I'm a gas bomb.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And it does make sense if your body's not used to that.
Correct.
And then you try to go be, get ready for Fitness America competition or something. We both are like former competitors back in the day for me, like way back in the day.
Right.
But that's what would happen if you're not used to that. So it does make sense to gradually shift, and then what supplements need to come into play.
Correct. How much water?
Yeah.
How's your fiber?
Yeah.
This is, Patricia, this is like a job.
Yeah. It is until it becomes a habit and a lifestyle.
Correct. When you're going to change the lifestyle, when you're going to optimize, when you're going to, it's going to be. But and then,
You know, it's interesting. My husband, Jake, he's so cute. He puts out all my prenatals every morning with like a little love note. And
oh,
he's so into health, right?
yeah.
And last night, I'm gonna cry. I'm so hormonal, but like he thanked me in the kitchen for being so healthy,
Yeah.
being pregnant. And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm so grateful that you've been so healthy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, well, yeah, I gotta think about him, like my son in my belly, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, but then I said to him, I think it's everything prepared me for this because I've been a clean eater for the last decade.
Yeah.
And it's a habit. It's my passion.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that first trimester was a doozy when everything was spinning
Yeah.
all day, every day. And you're just like, I need something.
Yeah.
Right. That
Yeah.
was a bit extreme. That God bless women that have, you know, that. But coming on the other side of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's easy to be healthy because now it's a habit.
Yeah.
It's just like when things get chaotic, I know I need to pray. I know I need to put on worship music. I know I need to read the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like how I'm acting. My confidence drops. And it's like getting that in your system that you just go back to what you know. And I would imagine 800 transformations you have helped coach, produce. Is there a moment with a woman that you're like, it's clicking with her? I think this is going to be real change. Like, do you ever, is there like something you see? Is it like,
Yeah. It's so good. Gosh, girl, there's so many things you said here that I'm like, my brain is like, oh, that one. But let's just put a pin on this for a second because you said something about the pregnancy that I just can't brush it off. You know, yes, you're thinking about that baby, right? You're thinking about, gosh, I really needed to give all this stuff to my baby. But remember, if you don't, you're actually giving to you because he's taking from you right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
He's taking from you. So you are really replenishing your own body. So you are not depleted by the time he comes out.
Yeah.
Because he's going to take everything, whether you want it or not.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Period. Whatever is available there, he's going to go for it.
Right.
But and then I see so many women giving birth and then they have, you know, the depression, the postpartum issues, the hormone, because they didn't really take care of themselves during that phase. And as soon as the baby comes out, they are depleted, right? So kudos to you that you are doing that because I was the same way. I knew I was like, I'm doing for him, but I'm doing for me too.
Yeah.
Right? I got to replenish this. So that's amazing there. The other thing is, yes, transformation, right? That's the word.
That's the word.
Oh my gosh, there is nothing more fulfilling than transformation, than helping someone transform. And that transformation starts in that mindset, right? It's when I see that it dropped from here to the heart, right? It's when she starts to really embody, right? She doesn't need to force herself anymore to go to the gym. She just does it.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't need to, oh my gosh, tracking macros is she just like, no, this is my tool.
Embraces it.
Right?
Yeah.
And when she's just like, you know, and I have a client that she messaged me the other day, she went to Vegas and she was on a protocol and she sent a photo of her food and she was like, what happens in Vegas is no excuses.
Whoa, that's so good.
I was like, wow, that was so good, right?
Yeah.
I can see it, right? I can see that and it's not just because she started, which has been with us for a couple of months now, and there is such a thing as that, but I can see, it's not just this, I'm on a sprint motivation thing. She's embracing the whole process, right? And she's just like becoming this new version of herself. Not new, it's already there. Right. She's just bringing her out. So I can see when it's dropping from the mind and is going to the heart.
Yeah.
When they are loving the process, that's when transformation starts to happen. They embrace it, they love it, and I'm like, oh, she's it. Let's go.
She's it.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
HRT is having a cultural moment right now. What
Right.
the heck is HRT?
HRT is hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, okay.
Right. 4 years ago, very little people, it was not, how can I say, it wasn't really talked as much as it is right now, at least in a good context. I am on HRT. I love it. But once again, there is the ebbs and flow, right? You need to track. You need to know how much. You need to know if you are a candidate for it. Once again, people chase symptoms, but they don't test to confirm the direction they need to go. So I see a lot of women going to doctors and they, okay, I have hot flashes. Okay, let's go. Let's put you on estrogen.
Yeah.
And then they feel better for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they start gaining weight, or they can lose weight. They feel more bloated. There is all these other things that are happening, and they're like, what in the heck is going on with me? I'm on HRT. Isn't it supposed to help? Well, when we test, then we can see that the liver pathway, the liver detoxification is not optimized. And now the estrogen is not being released from the body. So now it's recirculating into the body. Now she's having migraine, headaches, bloatedness, weight gain, and she's on HRT. But she wasn't ready for HRT.
My next question was going to be, is there danger with all this and the access to it and the people prescribing it?
Yeah.
And, it's like we don't know because we haven't seen the repercussions of anything quite yet. Like,
if you can't detoxify estrogen, you become, cancer. It's a big risk to become estrogen cancer related. Breast cancer, ovarian cancer. The estrogen needs to get out of your body through the liver. So there's three pathways that the estrogen breaks down into the liver, and one of them is to release from the body the bad estrogen, if you call it, right? And a lot of times the liver is not detoxifying properly, so the estrogen just keeps recirculating, then it becomes estrogen dominant, right? But that's very risky. I would say, it's so interesting. I get pushed back, right, on my social media because I'm not a doctor. And I'm like, okay, and what is your doctor doing anyways?
Yeah.
Because what are you saying? Like, where is your PhD?
Yeah.
I was like, and what is your doctor doing, girl? Like, he put you on a medication without even testing you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why you keep trusting your health and your life in the hands of other people? I don't. I just don't. I'd rather get educated. I'd rather go get the certification myself. I was listening to a podcast yesterday. Oh, Brooke Thomas. About her cancer thing, right?
Her cancer scare.
She went to get her nutrition certification for herself just so she could learn. Not because she's a coach of a nutritionist.
Right.
She's not giving meal plans to people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
She did for herself.
Yes.
That's me. Right?
Knowledge is power. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You need to know what works for you. Like, why you keep putting your life in the hands of other people, not even my hands. We work with doctors. I have a client that she's, gosh, sometimes my words skip. Like, hopefully you can edit on this one.
Yeah.
But she's an oncologist.
Okay.
Breast cancer survivor. And I love working with her because she's like, okay, Coach P, let's go. Here's the blood work. What do we need to do? What is the protocol? What is this? She's open. She's like, okay, I'm going to do a research on this. We talked about different peptides, right? Okay, let's do a research on this peptide. Let's figure out this. Let's figure it's, and we, as a team, we come up with these strategies for her, and her body absolutely transformed.
Wow.
Right? Her health. And she's an oncologist.
Yeah.
Right? She could be like, hey, I'm not going to listen to you.
Right.
right? But she's like, hey, I can work with you. I can grab your knowledge, my knowledge. I can do my research. Let's work
Mhm.
together, right? It's not like I'm gonna believe everything you're saying to me. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
how can I teach me? Where do I go? What is the resources? Can you help me with this? Where did you learn this? Right? And I'm all about sharing everything. And the other thing, I'm going through this myself.
Right.
Right? I'm not a dude on social media talking, if you were waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you must have high cortisol. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And that's, what we teach in personal branding. You're most powerfully positioned to serve who you once were. And it's completely different when you've walked through it.
Yeah.
You've twice now,
Twice. Yeah.
right? You just see it from a completely different lens.
Yeah.
And then you surround yourself with the right team that can help with answers as well. But you've got to have that coachable person who's ready.
Correct.
And,
Open-minded.
open-minded.
Yeah.
And, women and bodies are so emotional.
Yeah.
And, I got to imagine there's someone listening to this right now who looks great, but they haven't accepted their body, or even maybe doesn't look great, but they hate on their body and that self-talk. And,
Yeah.
how much is connected
Oh my gosh.
to the way we talk to our bodies. I know there's that book, The Body Keeps Score.
Your body's listening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And when it comes to healing and
Yeah.
trauma,
Yeah.
I got to imagine out of the 800 transformations you've produced, there's abuse survivors in there, people that have been sexually abused as children. What have you seen, and have you had to work through healing with them and offering different modalities for healing? That it's not a peptide, it's not a protocol, it's not a gut reset, but they need something deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a certification in life coach, whatever that means. But obviously, I'm also a believer, right? So I believe I'm spirit filled, and I'm always asking God inside, hey, what's going on here? Give me the wisdom. Help me hear between the lines, right? And yes, I do have a specific client that she's crossed every T and dot every I in terms of the protocols and the shots and this and that, but she hasn't been able to shift her mindset. And it breaks my heart because I say, girl, until you change how you talked about this situation, your body's not going to respond to this. You gotta go into that healing. And I try to keep my scope of practice, if you will, separately. If I really feel you need help, how many times I have referred them to, a counselor, someone that I have used, or a life coach that I have used, or someone from the church that works with inner healing many times, because I'm like, I think you need to work on this trauma, right? But that's a very it's a very real thing. And I think that, I was talking to my husband about this the other day. It's like, man, my heart breaks so much for the church, for the, let's just go there, like with the pastors, for example. I'm like, and I know we all have that, right? You hear from God in different areas of your lives, and then you shut down some other areas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you were there on you're the leader, right? And you telling me that you heard God saying this and you heard God saying that. You didn't hear anything about your health.
Right.
I'm like, oh man.
How are you not convicted?
How are you not convicted? How is that, it's an unhealthy, weight, right? We need you. We need you here longer.
Yeah, amen.
Right?
Amen.
Why are you not listening, And we tend to separate our faith from our health. Right? And I'm not saying our faith from healing, two different things, because most Christians are believing God for healing. So they bring their faith for healing. But if you need healing, that means you're not healthy. Right? So let's not separate our faith from health.
Yeah.
Because if my faith is in my health, right? So now that's going to be the foundation to, how can I say, to prevent me from making fear-based decisions towards my body. The Ozempics, the desperation, right? The shortcuts, because it's the fear-based, right? So let's bring our faith into our health. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense. What does God say about us being healthy?
I believe that, to begin with, we need you here longer, right? You have this calling. You definitely are helping people. You're transforming lives. You are, helping orphanages and doing all of this. And you have so much wisdom. And then you die of a heart attack, like at 60, right? When there's so much more to live and your kids, to impact. I believe God's saying, let me go there in that area with you too. Don't separate, don't compartmentalize this and, my health, I'm okay. Let's treat the body as the temple. It's not, it's I think we got into a place that we are so desensitized about words.
Yep.
Because we keep hearing, oh, your body is a temple.
Right.
And then nobody's like, okay, whatever that means.
Yeah.
No, listen. Are you listening?
Yeah, it's a temple.
It's a temple.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Stop. Right? What does that even mean?
Wow. That's so beautiful. You actually just gave me the God bumps. I
always wonder why he always likes to bring this up.
I know. I'm like,
like, what is
this? It's so beautiful. It actually, I think about even, both of us before we were married, like I decide, your body is a temple, not even just what I'm eating, but not having premarital sex. And I know that's something you and I talked about a lot because we found the love of our lives later in life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of different for a woman later to like not be sleeping with the guy, even though like they know they're eventually going to marry that,
Correct. Yeah.
And it's like, how literal do we take our body as a temple?
Even what we dress, how we dress and what we're doing, everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. It's so cool and freeing when you really honor and you're obedient to what the living word of God actually says. And you're not trying to like piecemeal it together.
Correct.
We're like, I won't murder someone. That's fine. I get that. I'll ease up on the gossip, but like body is a temple. I don't know.
Yeah. I can just wear the whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. And take it to church. It's like, come on, girl. We are uncomfortable here. Hello, right? Like, would Jesus really have you dressed that way, Or, we can go on and on. But, Dan and I, we had, several discussions about that whole thing, and holding up until we get married. And it was a challenge. It was not easy. But once we made the decision, it's like when you know better, do better. I had that conviction.
Same girl.
He didn't as much, but God would hold me accountable for that, not him.
Yeah.
Because I had the conviction, right? And then I was just like, babe, I don't know what's gonna happen, but you're gonna have to go to God to get this conviction because I can't anymore. And he did. I remember that I was like, give it to God and he went on a journey throughout the night, going after different podcasts and and videos and YouTube about this whole thing about waiting until you get married and why is it important and all. And I remember in the morning he came to me. He's like, I got it. He's like, I got it. I was like, what do you mean you got it? I was sleeping. What happened? And he's like, well, I wasn't. I couldn't go to sleep. I went to bed like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was just listening to all these pastors and all these things and I got it. Let's do it. Let's do it God's way. And it was amazing.
And how long have you been married now?
We're going to be married for a year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a year.
Praise God.
Yeah.
That's also why she's got the glow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
No.
in a healthy marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had our moments, absolutely, of course, every marriage. But when we look back, because we were together for 7 years
Wow.
before we get married, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a miracle to say we are, because he said he would never get married, and he married me twice.
Oh,
Because we married here and in Brazil. 2 wedding dresses, the whole thing. It was like,
girl, I
you married
love
me
that.
twice.
Yeah.
Let's go. But he, he was always looking for, how can we grow through this? Let's not be stuck with this. And I remember, somebody asking her, what is your regret? And he said that I didn't do it sooner. And I was like, oh,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Oh.
It's been a blessing.
Oh, that is so, so good. Let's speak directly to a woman right now. She could be walking in the woods. She could be pushing the stroller. She could be later in life, but just feeling like she's giving up on her body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you say to her? What would you speak into her? And maybe she's dealing with MS, something else, even, where is this it? Like, how am I going to do this life? What would you say to her?
You are not broke. I know you're thinking you are. You're thinking that, what happened? What's happened to me? Why I'm so stuck? You got to understand that you are in a new season of your life, biologically speaking, physiologically speaking, right? And we didn't get that information. We didn't. We just continue going along. I say, a lot of people say this too. Perimenopause is like puberty on a reverse. But even in school, we had classes and lessons on that, right? Remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was, yes. Yeah.
Puberty lessons?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
We didn't have any lessons on perimenopause.
This is true.
Nothing. Right? So we were not educated on this. But I'm here to tell you, sitting here at 51 and having helped hundreds of women that have felt the same way. I felt the same way when I hit that wall, and I was just like, whoa, are you kidding me? I've been always fit. I know how to do this. I know how to exercise. I'm not newbie on this thing. Why isn't my body not responding anymore? There is a reason why. And it's not because it's broken. It's not because it won't work. It's just that you are doing the right things in the wrong time. We got to learn what is this new thing for you, right? So don't internalize. Don't keep thinking that you were the problem, you were doing something wrong, or just keep justifying. I see a lot of that too, justification. Oh, it's just that, it's that season.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm hearing from you is, when you know better, do better. Get some help, do your due diligence, get disciplined. But also, I think there is a level of acceptance and enjoying your life and being grateful for all that you have. Because I think it can be a dangerous way to live if it's always, it's not good enough, I need to get better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like living in, I believe you gotta oscillate between both. Like, have that enough awareness to, like, hey, we can improve here, but then also be grateful for the lungs and the air that you're breathing, and
Always,
live in
right?
gratitude. Because listen, I know the woman who's listening to this right now is a high achiever, and we always are pushing the limits.
Always.
And you got to be so careful that you don't spend your whole life wishing and trying to get somewhere and not enjoying what God has for you right here, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. You are always chasing the A's, right?
Yeah.
Always chasing the A's. But it's okay to be a B+.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really like school. So, I mean, I was chasing
Yeah.
the bees. But like,
But you know, the high
yeah.
achiever, she's
Oh,
always
totally.
like,
Yeah.
and if I don't, then I am not good enough. If I don't,
Mhm.
what's wrong with me? I should
Mhm.
know better. I should do better.
Mhm.
What if you can just do be a B plus and be okay
Yeah.
with that right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. What, you came here from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
In what year was that?
2000.
2000.
2000, yeah.
What
I was
have
just a
you
baby.
what have you learned from coming, like you didn't speak English.
No.
So
Yeah.
you came here, you had to figure out a way to work.
Yeah.
You got out of a relationship
Yeah.
that was not serving you, as toxic.
Yeah.
You had to fight to figure out your
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
I really want you to go back to that moment, that Patricia,
Mm.
and talk to her for a minute. I mean, look at how much you've evolved
Yeah.
and what you've created and the impact you've made. But I want to go back to that moment. You're here from Brazil. You do not even speak English. What did you have to tell yourself to climb out of your circumstances, to put food on your table?
Mm-hmm. Wow. It started with giving permission. I had to give myself the permission because I grew up with this huge division, the rich and the poor. This is what poor people eat. This is what rich people eat. This is what poor people dress. This is, what rich people dress. It was constant, in my family. It wasn't just that we didn't have money. We had a broken mindset, right? So I grew up with that. And so I lived on the wrong side of the street, if you will, right? And we had to accept that this is my lot. I was born poor. I was born in this section, and this is it. You just accept it. And I just couldn't. I had this, this fire. I was a daydreamer. I remember I would spend hours on end dreaming. As a little girl, like I wanted to be the president of the world, And I remember like dreaming, arriving at this place with this white car. It was like an SUV, and I had all these jewelries, and I had all this. I was always a dreamer. And, but when you have that mindset as well, fighting with you internally, I doubted a lot. And to this day, it's a battle. I doubted a lot that, okay, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I wasn't meant to, because you keep attracting those circumstances, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember having a conversation with Jake, your husband, about this one. And I remember that I was always last in line. I was always last in line. Or people would just cut me off,
Uh-huh.
And I remember one day I was in Park City, and I was at this, coffee shop, and this line was huge, okay? And I'm there, probably I'm third to the cashier, right? And this tall, skinny, white girl, from Beverly Hills probably, I don't know, she looked at the entire line, but she decided that I was the one that she would cross in front of, right? And she literally just came in, Emily, and I was like, holy cow. And I'm sitting there, standing there, and I was just like, serious right now? Just like that? Mm-hmm. But at that moment, I realized that life was doing that to me. See what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't her specifically, but I was allowing this thing to keep happening. So it was almost like I was waiting for people to give me the permission, to people to validate me, to people to invite me, to right? And I was just, in that moment, I was just so done. I was like, okay, I remember Sylvester Stallone said once, and I don't know if I can say this here, but life is a bitch.
Yeah.
It's going to punch you in the face,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's going to pull your hair
Yep.
like a little bitch that it is, pulling your hair like, ah, you know?
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Yes.
Right? And when I decide to have that attitude that I'm like, oh, no, you didn't, right? It's like, girl, back off.
Yes.
Right? I remember even with my husband, you know, like some girls, like, I was like, excuse me, let's go. Like, you are not.
Yeah, you better not.
You better not, you know? When I got the attitude of like, I don't think so. I'm going to do this for me. I'm not going to ask for permission anymore. I'm going to give myself permission. I'm going to believe for it. I'm going to go for it. Right? So then I start creating from that place.
Yes.
You know?
And your worthiness, you believe that you're worthy and you act like you're worthy. You step into it and God conspires in your favor.
Yeah.
And you're no longer letting people walk all over you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was the shift there for me and getting into different areas. But it's too a battle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend, oh yeah, I got it going on. Like, no, it's there. It's a real battle. We were just talking about this before the podcast. You know, 2025, there was a big shift in the industry with the Ozempics and the AI and this and that, and I internalized everything. I was like, oh my gosh, am I not worthy again? And thank God I have a husband that he knows me like the palm of his hand. And he's like, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, like, you accomplished so much. Let's not go back there. Let's pivot again.
Yeah.
And we did. And we are doing it, you know? But yes,
which so many people can relate to that, listening to this as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We go through seasons, economies change, technology changes. Whatever industry you're in, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. Well, I've loved this conversation.
I
We
love
have gone
you.
all over the place.
We did.
And this is a masterclass. And I know there's some people going, how can I work with Coach P? How can I work with you? Share with everybody how they can work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. He's who can't work with me.
Okay. Yeah.
You're looking for quick fixes. You don't want to, you know, do the blood work. You want to work with a doctor. You want, you know, do your thing. You don't want to give up on your wine. You want, you know, your excuses are more important than anything else. So then no.
Yeah.
You know, that I can't help you. Right? But you are done blaming yourself. You're ready to learn what works for you. You are ready to do the work and trust again. I know you've been burnt before, but so have I, you know, and I just hire another coach that now it's crushing it, right? After being burnt several times.
Right.
Follow your gut, you know, be in alignment with the God in you so he can lead you and show you who you need to work with. But if you hear me and you're like, that's my coach, if I get this woman to work with me, she's going to completely be that catalyst for the transformation that I'm looking for, then you can, oh my gosh, I have something super special for your crown, called crown, right?
Called and crowned.
Okay, I have something super special for your called and crowned.
What is it?
So I'm giving you call it, how can I say, an open house.
Yeah.
Okay, and
where we can take a little sneaky peek into your world.
An open house invitation. Okay. A week with me inside of my program. No strings of attachment. I love working with people that can believe again. And if you have been burnt and you're like, you know what, Patricia, I know I can pay for a program, but no worries, girl. Come take a pic. Take a look. You know, let me show you what I can do in 7 days. And if you love it, you have a call with me. And if you don't, you leave it. Simple as that.
Sounds easy. Okay,
Easy
so
peasy.
where do people go?
So there is a link that I'm going to drop for you with a landing page for you to sign up into that. Please, when you do it, go check your spam because sometimes it goes there, right?
Yes.
You're going to be inside of my app. There's a link that will be sent to you as well. So you can download the app. My phone number is going to be there. You can direct message me as well.
Oh, my God.
And let's just get you there for a week and so you can see what it's like. And then you can also follow me at Coach Patricia Official. And My link is on the bio as well. So
Perfect.
it would be an honor to work with your girls.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Yes.
for being here.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
for being you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Thank you for helping me with my
Yes.
branding as
Yes,
well.
absolutely.
It was so much fun, especially on the VIP
Yeah.
day. Oh my gosh. All the things
amazing.
you did was
But
amazing.
you continue to evolve.
Yes.
And that's the part that makes me so happy and so
Yes.
proud. God
I
is good.
appreciate you so much
We
for
love you.
having me here.
Yes.
You and Jake are
Okay,
amazing.
you guys, share this episode out. Tag me. Tag Coach Patricia Official.
Yeah.
What did you take away from this episode? And please share it with anybody who needs to hear it. God bless.